when I'm training dogs, I generally use one of 3 different types of collars or collar systems. And they all work. Some work better than others. Some I use at different phases of training. It really kind of depends on your dog, your goals, and what you feel most comfortable using, what works best. Some are paired better with the e-collar. Others work really well on their own. So I'm going to show you each one and explain why I like it and when I use it and what I pair it with. So first up, we have a slip lead. So this is generally a leash. You can buy slip lead collars and attach a leash. I like having them as one unit, and you want to get ones that have a stopper. So the way these work is you put the loop around the dog's neck, and then you pull the stopper all the way to where the O-ring is. You want to get it closer than that, but it's hard to do on myself with such, my wrist is smaller than a dog's neck. And you want to have the loop pretty tight, not like 2-finger tight, so that the dog can't slide out of it. And what this does is it allows you to put pressure on the dog and guide them to where you want them to go, whether that's a sit, you'd pull up. When you're walking, you pull them different directions. Works like reins on a horse. Okay? I will often start dogs out on a slip lead and just kind of walk around indoors in a really boring area. I wouldn't use a slip lead to walk a new dog down a city street. It's not the right tool because it's going to choke the dog. It's not for dogs that you're taking out into public spaces that are really busy, that have a lot of distractions, with a dog that pulls really strongly. It's a good starting point to teach a dog to understand what leash pressure means. Okay, next up I have a martingale collar. So you can see this looks like a flat buckle collar, but there's this piece here that connects 2 rings and makes a triangle. So this is where you attach the leash. And what I like about martingale collars, I like ones that have buckles on them. Most of the ones you see have, they just slide over the dog's head. I like the buckle ones because I think they're easier to put on, but I'm putting them on lots of different dogs. So whatever you prefer. Just if you get one with a buckle, make sure it's not a quick release. So just like the slip lead, you'll notice a common theme with all these. You put this around the dog's neck. When they feel pressure, the leash, the collar tightens all the way around their neck. It doesn't quite do it on my wrist because my wrist is too small. Do it on my arm a little bit. So you can see it tightens all the way around. So compared to a flat buckle collar where you have the leash attachment here. If the dog is putting pressure because they're pulling, it's only putting pressure on the area where they're pulling or where you're pulling, right? It doesn't put pressure all the way around. And I think it's important to have pressure all the way around the neck because it delivers more clear information. It's much safer for the dog. It doesn't put it on just one area. And it's a better communication system. I really like martingale collars. That's usually where I start dogs off, especially puppies, because they have just more delicate necks. But in general, I like martingale collars as a starting point for most dogs. Again, I'm starting out really boring. I start indoors or in a backyard, just walking back and forth. So I'm not going to high traffic areas. I'm not going to big distraction areas. I'm not doing any real work in the beginning on any of these collars because I want to set the dogs up for success. Okay, the last one is called a prong collar, and it is a martingale collar, so you can see it's similar setup, right? It's got that triangle. You attach the leash here. This is called the D ring. It's shaped like a D. This is an O ring. It's shaped like an O. You attach the leash to the D ring, and you see all these prongs. It looks like a torture device, but actually the prong collar is my favorite collar. And the reason is because it's, I think, the gentlest tool you can use, and it's the best communication tool you can use with a dog. It delivers really clear communication. And even though it looks really scary, it's not at all. I can literally walk a dog with holding the leash between my thumb and forefinger. Like, often I will just lay the leash over my hand, and when I need to deliver communication to the dog, I just close my hand or I pinch my fingers together, and you'll hear a little pop or like ching, or the pressure tightening and then releasing, and that's it. It's a super, super gentle tool. It's similar to those nail bed things that you stick your face in as a kid, or you stick your whole hand in, because you have the nails delivered over a large area of pressure. It's delivering pressure all the way around your hand, versus if you just put one finger on one nail, that hurts. But when the points are distributed, when the pressure is distributed across a surface, it doesn't hurt, right? So this is the same thing. You have these prongs here, and they look really scary, but they are just like those nail bed things. So it's delivering pressure all the way around the dog's neck, just like the slip lead, just like the martingale, but it has these points which deliver very clear communication. Now, again, I'm not putting this on a dog and like taking them to some busy park in the city. Anytime I get a dog, anytime I'm starting out, we start in a boring area, start in the backyard, in the house, going back and forth. Like, really, really simple. This is what I walk my dogs on. If they're on leash, my dogs are not really on leash that often, but when they are on a prong collar, because it makes the walk easier. It allows me to deliver really clear communication. I have the best control. I compare the prong collar kind of to a bread knife. So you could cut a loaf of bread with a paring knife, but it's not really the best tool for the job. Like, you can do it, but it's not really safe. Like, I don't feel super safe using them, because paring knives have small blades and loaves of bread are quite big, and they don't cut through bread very well, and I kind of have to like stab and move the bread around. Like, it's kind of a pain. But if I use a bread knife to cut bread, I can just do a couple saws and I have my piece of bread within seconds. So I think knives are a good example, because you have a lot of knives that are used for very specific things. And this, if this were a knife, this would be my walking knife. This would be my walking knife, right? So it's not a collar you leave on all the time. You have it on when you're training, right? So those are the 3 collars that I recommend. I think because the prong collar is the scariest looking one, and it has a lot of controversial information out on the interwebs about it, it's good to work with a trainer to learn how to use it, but it's really not that scary. I love it. I use it. But all of these are really great tools, and pair really well with e-collars. So up to you. Depends on your dog, depends on your preference. So any of these work.